कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Yeah, welcome to Cyrus says. Sorry about the welcome, television anchor for life. So we always train to do that. Do that at home also. Vendor comes in, Zomato. I'm like, welcome to Skylark. Same thing everywhere I go. Can't get it out. When I see it, I find it so stupid and informal, like formal, too formal for the show. Don't you think? Who says welcome anymore?
Yeah, no one says that.
Except the guys who make that welcome series. Welcome to the jungle coming soon, for example.
Or the doormats.
Oh, they do? They still have it?
Some of
Oh,
them
for
still do,
sure. Yeah.
It's a bit mean when you step on it. No, welcome. Yeah. Okay, quick introduction before we go ahead. Niv, do you know who this gentleman is? His name is Rohan Vyavaharkar. Have I got it right?
Well done.
It's a tongue twister. Tough for many people.
For people from South Bombay.
When he dates girls, Rohan used to tell me the first thing he'd do is, can you say my surname? And on that basis, they would take it further.
Oh, damn. You can date him.
That's
then.
actually a true story.
It's a truth. I'll tell you why it
Yeah.
makes sense. Because if they don't show interest in knowing the name, I always believe if you don't have the respect of knowing someone's name, whatever culturally different, whatever, they don't take the effort, then that means they're not really interested in you.
Yeah.
Right? Like come on.
No, like for example, I would say like Alejandro Gutierrez, right?
Mhm.
What a show off.
Oh my God. I'd be like, yeah, my last name is Vyavaharkar. Of course, I'm going to get your name right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nobody gets my name right. It's very rare. That's why I like.
Nivedita is easy.
Yeah, everybody says it differently, you see.
Yeah, that's true. But come on, that slang
It's like
control you can't
Nivedita,
have.
Nivedita.
Inflections.
Which I like.
but that is, I mean,
It's also
that's
north south.
Yeah, it's
The
personal
first-
preference,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Like my famous Lavanya and Lavanya story. Lavanya. South,
Yeah,
north.
like
it's totally
Adira,
different.
like even my younger daughter is called Adira,
Yeah.
and
Adira in the
say
north.
Adira,
Yeah.
Adira,
Adira,
yeah.
Adira.
And you shouldn't
So-
bother trying to change
Yeah,
them
exactly,
because it's the
yeah.
way it is.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
Rohan you can't go wrong with, basically. There's not too much you can do
Oh
with
my
Rohan.
God, this,
Oh, come on,
I'm
no
the oldest
way.
Rohan I know,
Huh.
but like
What do they
everyone
call you?
else,
Yeah.
no, but mostly Rohan only.
Yeah.
But like everyone else is like younger, okay? So
Yeah.
because I'm named after
Except
Rohan.
Sunny's son.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so both of us are named after
Kanhai.
Kanai.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Rohan
Same,
Kanhai, famous West Indian cricketer.
same reason.
If I sound patronizing, tell me now.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Same reason. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone else is named after Rohan Gavaskar. Like,
Yeah.
because they're younger,
Oh.
right?
He made the name. So Sunny made the name popular, and then you pick it
Correct.
up.
Correct.
Like Aryan, Shahrukh made popular, and now every second kid, male and female Aryan. Yeah.
And the best part is, despite all of this, right? Rohan's such a common. My own father-in-law, after like some 15 years of marriage, one day says, Rahul. And I'm like, what the hell?
He's a Dravid fan, not a Sunny fan. That's
It
clear.
was like,
Yeah.
it's one of the common names that starts with R.
Yeah, correct. And this guy
It's a
that's
fair
my
mistake.
daughter married.
It's a fair mistake. Yeah, it's okay.
After 15
No,
years.
because it's like a slip because, like she said, the common names are always a problem.
Yeah.
Exactly the names like Rohit, Rohan, Rahul,
Priya and Pooja.
Priya,
But this is like
Pooja.
someone who's had like children with your daughter. Like
It's an
that's
old-
not real.
That's
I
true.
mean, you're not that important.
Children with
Yeah,
your daughter.
maybe. Yeah, actually, now that there are
You sound like the carpenter. Children with your daughter is not like a service. What are you saying? Hey, add children with your daughter.
it's another revenue stream for a good
Wow,
company.
oof, I'm scared. Yeah, there you go. So Rohan is here to tell us about a new show.
A
that
new
you
show called
headlining.
Smartphone Nation that I'm co-hosting with Utsav Memoria, and it was Rohan's idea. So I'd like to know from him how he
Whoa.
began to like think about this podcast. This is very
So
interesting.
quick background on Rohan, and then we'll go into his background again in
For
detail.
sure.
One is he started as a sports journalist. He's sports crazy, crazier than even I am, and he's
Mhm.
he's a Google. You can ask him anything. He's one of those. He's like the young Harsha Bogle with more hair. Harsha, we love you.
No pressure.
Yeah. So that's where he comes from. He was on NDTV. He was a journalist, a
Mhm.
sports journalist, one of the first sports jockeys, before this thing was a thing. And then I think he went to entrepreneurship, again in the sports world.
Yeah,
Red Bull,
so,
etc.
yeah.
We'll talk about that in detail.
Yeah.
And now he's come here. So he's working where?
I'm working with Omedia Network India, which is
Mhm.
an investment firm focused on impact.
He's got money. Rahul ke paas paisa hai, daddy. I'm just reminding him. Rahul's a rich man. Yeah.
But for that, is to spend membership money first
Oh, really?
to see this. No?
To see this?
Yeah.
It's a membership thing.
Oh, it's not a member. Oh,
It's
lovely.
like,
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
$119 nahi hai. Rahul, let him call you Pooja. I don't care. Just give him the money. Yeah, sorry. So, investment thing.
Yeah, so we're an investment firm focused on impact, which essentially focuses on the next $500 million, which is the 500 odd million people who've come online for the first time via their mobile phones, right?
Yep.
So think of security guards, domestic help, drivers.
That's our market.
That's 21,000. No,
Arey Vijay, get call ke suno na match hota. I've told him.
Thanks. No, but the point is we
Yeah.
don't want Vijay to be opening gates anymore. So the
Yeah.
idea is that how do we give them the opportunity, to help to create productivity, to upskill,
To use the
move up,
tool to go
to move
upwardly mobile
and
performance. Fair enough.
essentially digital tools, right? So our entire portfolio, and we have about portfolio about we've invested close to $500 million in India, and the whole goal really is to work on the next this bottom 60% of India's economic distribution, and really sort of figure out what are the levers that can help them, either social mobility, learn better, upskill, find ways
Break
to
out of the mold.
break out of that mold,
Yeah.
right? And which is where sort of Smartphone Nation fits in, because what we're doing in Smartphone Nation, and Nivedita and Utsav have been hard at work, and not just my idea. We've like all the good folks here at IVM Podcasts also helped curate it. But basically, the idea really was to tell the story of this next half billion, right? We all talk about entrepreneurs. We all celebrate entrepreneurs, right? And we do too, right? We
Yep.
have over 100 investees of our own. But how do you actually tell the story of the next half billion is to hear it from them, right? This ivory tower bullshit has to stop. So which is where we decided we'll go
Bro,
to
if you let them do well, then what happens to us? We've monopolized the well now. They just take away our well, bro. Think
Alright.
about this equality thing has to end at some point, right?
So maybe
Bro, come on. How do we control the world if we allow our people into our boys' club?
So so maybe if the pie grows, Cyrus, our slice will also grow.
Well done.
So
He's
Definitely.
definitely took that ball off his pads into the stands for 6.
So maybe we
Superb.
grow the pie, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is, right? Like, how do we get more people to use the tools that are available to them, and also do that in a responsible
Actually,
fashion?
this is a very sadly, I don't know how to put this, but socially speaking, from a social conscience point of view, it's a horrible thought that in India there's so many people who stay within the same mold for generations.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's no hope actually. There
There,
literally isn't, because their world will never go outside that world.
Yeah.
someone once said that apparently it takes 7 generations for a person to come
it?
out of poverty.
Oh my
That is
God.
7
the
generations,
general.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the general.
How long to lose all your money and go back to poverty?
One generation.
One
If-
fucking generation.
if-
One guy
if you
drinks too
try
much,
hard enough.
boom. Has a second wife,
Yeah.
boom, it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. But people are trying to change that with things like volunteering and things like that.
No,
which-
and I think technology has become a great lever.
Shouldn't the
Yep,
government
technology.
shouldn't the government be doing this?
through technology.
I'm just thinking, this
The government is
but the
doing
carrying
it.
the work.
It
Oh.
is like we have an episode about how the government.
Yeah,
is,
I mean, honestly, look, no politics, right? But I think from a government standpoint, there has been a concerted effort over the years. But I mean, look, we're 1.4 billion people.
It's also like
Yeah, we are a lot of
it's also a new sort of
yeah, it is. It is like
world.
I mean,
Yeah.
this jam trinity we talk about: Jandan, Aadhaar, and mobile, right?
Mm.
Jandan bank accounts,
Yeah.
Aadhaar, the digital sort of thing, and mobiles.
I never heard this before. Thanks so much.
Yeah, so this is all.
I only
like-
have the other of the 3, but anyway, yeah.
No, but we don't, like, again, we're 1%, right?
Yeah.
We don't need the Jandan
No.
Jandan of the world. But what it's doing is
It's the
doing
first
things
step
like-
into going ahead. You're
into
having your
formal
bank
banking,
account,
into
having-
formal
yeah.
banking.
having an identification, which is
Identification
beyond the.
huge. 95% of the country, for them, the Aadhaar is the only form of ID today.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. So the point is, it's actually giving you this platform to build things like a public distribution system, PDS, right? Or for example, the things things like medical care,
Mm.
or things like insurance, right? Which we just take for
True.
granted.
True.
And this is, so that's fundamentally shifting. And then, so that's what the government is doing. Then you have layers of entrepreneurs who are going in and solving very specific things, right? Like, so for example, the one in our first episode, right?
Oh, you've already what, behind my back? You just done episode.
we,
I mean, we gave permission. They released them. What's going on, man?
Yeah, we are.
just one. Just one.
Where's my medication? What?
Just one.
This one, yeah.
Just one.
Sorry, so the first
we'll
one?
push it.
Yeah.
No, so the first one essentially, is talking about.
Upskilling.
I'm throwing this.
Technology.
This is my throw. This is my throw to you.
Umar ki baat hai,
I know
behan.
everything.
Umar ki baat hai. It's
It is-
okay.
it's
We were
about-
old
No,
now.
but
We
this
need to
is my-
lean. We need to lean.
Yeah, correct. So this is the quick
But it's a
single.
very interesting
fair.
episode.
अरे नहीं समझ में आ रहा, ball नहीं समझ रहा.
I thought it's more
I
like,
was like,
I was like, you don't want to face the fast bowler.
yeah, that's what
You're like,
I
I'll stay
I
on
don't
this end.
understand the swing. I just punched it quickly into behind covers. Let's run. Huh?
So it is about upskilling and how people are using technology to get to the people that are not able to access a good training, because it's not an education anymore. It's like a specific training for a specific skill, like coding.
You're cutting to the chase in a sense.
Yeah, you're cutting to
Yeah.
the chase,
Yeah.
and it's what people like the
But
founder of
coding is a
Massage
bit
School who
high
comes.
funda, no? But I
It's not
suppose
high funda. It's
there are
actually
talent is out there, and yeah.
no, but I mean, coding is now language at the end of the day.
See, but for a lot of people, right? Like they will go to NIT, they will do all of
Correct.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But instead, this is actually creating. So, like Masai, for
But
example,
can I actually compete with the academies that teach you formally?
but that's the best part, right?
Yeah.
They are not going and as I'm saying, as you know, they are not going. They are not competing with those guys. They are actually going to an Amazon. They are going to a Wipro. They are saying we will give you qualified. See, because India has a skilling issue, right? So they are saying we will give you skilled people. Don't worry about where they're coming from. Worry about the fact that they are Masai certified.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Like for example, another one is Entry. Entry is saying that we will help you train for government exams. The largest employer in the country today is government, right? Such a small percentage. So these people are.
We are a government organization, IVM.
IVM Podcast is a government organization.
yeah.
Indian Voice,
Something like
something, no?
It's more voice because we are Bengali specific, but yeah.
My father-in-law is Bengali.
Bengali?
Yeah,
He calls you Rahul.
Yeah,
What do you
correct.
care? That's damn funny. What a story, you know.
It's a
20
great
years of
story.
marriage, you just won't get his name right.
Yeah.
What a lack of respect for your son-in-law. All said and
Thanks, make
done.
me feel a lot better.
I know, I'm just
It's like
thinking.
just-
I would do that as a father-in-law. I would think I just going to irritate that guy and the power dynamic
That's
stays.
probably
It's
it,
a-
though.
it is, it
maybe
is.
Maybe it's a joke.
Say the
that he
wrong
has.
name and you have a power
Have you
dynamic
met my
going on.
father-in-law?
Like you're not
I'm sure
important.
he's going to listen to this, but have
Yeah.
you met my father-in-law? Huh?
I'd love to actually.
No,
He seems like a funny guy.
Jokes are no. Jokes are not exactly
Oh,
bread and
no.
butter here. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a great way of keeping you in your place, you know. It's
That's
like you're
true.
just not important enough.
That's
you know,
true.
It's
That's
like,
Keep me off
yeah.
balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Rahul.
Yeah.
And one day you'll be a Rajesh. You know, just keep going. And the day he goes into P or S or something, you know,
Then I
and you
should be
become like
worried.
a shaker.
Yeah.
Like there's no connection.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's get back to our story.
No, we were talking about Massage School, which we wanted to.
No, Masai School
The
Entry.
first episode,
Yeah, the
actually.
first
Yeah.
episode that just came out,
Mm.
and then through the series, 26 weeks,
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about different ways that entrepreneurs are building. Sometimes using government, sometimes using government platforms, sometimes sort of building something completely new.
Mhm.
And the whole story, through each of these episodes, we are actually what amazes me, and Nivedita and Utsav are the ones talking to these guys, and as Maitri the producer, but they're speaking to them and actually finding out how their lives have changed. Like there's a farmer episode coming,
Mhm.
teasing that. That's like, to my
Sweet.
mind, that's one of the most amazing episodes, because you're actually hearing people like us
So
in the
who will you speak
1%.
to in the farmer episode?
We've already spoken.
No, sorry. Oh, you already
Huh.
shot that?
Yeah, we've already spoke. It's a pre-recorded podcast.
Right.
Yeah, it's
No,
like a-
so who do you
We
speak
had
to?
it like
Specifically, you spoke,
constructed.
who did
That's
you
like-
speak to? But
We spoke to farmers.
Actual farmers.
Yes.
Yeah,
who-
people like us who've quit some who've quit their job
Hmm.
and moved. We were and moved into farming.
we didn't quit the job. We were asked to leave, but yeah, go on.
And then there are people who, like we were just talking about, generational farmers who
Yeah.
are now absolutely sort of level stepping up their farming techniques and
Yeah.
practices because of the technology.
We've been
that's
guilty of
available
that,
to them.
haven't we? As an agrarian economy, that we didn't embrace technology fast
yeah,
enough,
yeah.
in spite of being such a large agrarian
Absolutely,
Yes,
economy.
we did.
I mean,
yes.
we've
Yeah.
done that with education as well for the longest time. And
Think.
Mm.
but I think it's
Oh.
because a lot of this is technology is expensive,
Mm.
right? So as our
Upgrade happens.
upgrade happens
Yeah.
as a country, I think we're automatically going to get more and more access to this technology. And look, it's easy to be cynical, right, and say that government this, government that, but I think also private entrepreneurs have now taken it, and you're
Upon
seeing the results.
Yep.
Right, there are and hopefully there are more focused on investors who are coming into this space and saying, hey, how do we move the needle? Because when we move the needle for the bottom 60%,
Yeah.
we're actually moving the needle for the whole of the country, right?
Mm.
And I think that's really the focus, and that's kind of what we're driving at also.
Could you
Yeah.
apply to be in the bottom 60%, even if you're not totally in it? Would that be fraud?
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn.
I mean, there's no application, but that's like
I was
we
thinking,
don't have economic reservation. In
I
the
just
country,
want a
constitutionally
felicitation at the
speaking.
end of the day.
You know-
He came from nowhere and he pulled himself up, and today, thanks
Oh,
to
let's not. Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? In Tamil Nadu, they do have like a new policy where they give homemakers 1,000 rupees per
yeah.
month.
What do you mean a homemaker? Like the wife or the husband who stays at home?
The woman of the house,
Yeah.
basically.
Or the man of the house. who's
The man
there.
of the
All women, basically.
How dare you
Especially
be so
women
sexist?
who work also.
I'll happily be the wife. I've told my wife all the time, let's switch. Yeah.
But it
so how
is-
much do they get?
1,000 rupees a month.
But how much is that, Niv? Come on.
It's a
Again,
lot.
he's applying South
Do you know
Bombay
that?
standards.
Yeah, exactly. That's
No,
what I'm
but
saying.
let's go down the economic structure and tell me in $1,000 even like
Any money is good money.
okay, that way. Okay, some provision will come out of
It
it. But
adds
it's not
up.
like you can't really live off that.
I mean, you can't live off of it, but
Yeah.
like compared to nothing that
I mean,
women were getting
let's
for
look
doing
at-
all
but
the
the
work.
point
that they
IVM
were-
salaries are about 2,000 a month. So, I mean, Sparsh is okay for now. He's lost weight, but he can't cut his hair. There's no question. Can't afford that shit. He just pulls it every time there's an episode of ours. He's pulling his hair. That's it. $1,000. So, but I don't want to be cynical, but it's a little tokenism now because it's just a little bit. Or
I
is that
think.
just
I
being
mean, look.
mean?
If point is that if you're taking if you're saying, because okay, just to put that in perspective, right? We talk about bottom 60%. Take a guess of what that salary is
An average?
on an average. What is the what is the threshold?
10,000 a month.
60% of this country. Think of how much. Think of the money.
7,000?
No, slightly more. Yeah.
15,000?
21,000. 21,000 and below.
Fuckers are loaded.
Cyrus.
But
Let's give the money to Bangladesh. What are we doing? What's going on? 21 grand. What are you complaining about?
but
Come to
21,000.
IVM. See Rishi suffer.
straight out of Big Boss.
No, but the point. See, but the point is 21,000 and below, right? 21,000 and below.
This is the bread earners. It's
is-
for like
is-
5 people.
Is for a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's for an entire. The
minimum five.
household earning is 21,000 and below.
5 plus if he has a girlfriend, 6.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if one in Bandu, one in Baikala, then you're
Oh
so
God.
you're finished.
This is the most
Because
moronic relationship ever.
Transport
You're so
also.
tired by the time you reach the next girl. You're like, oh man, VIP culture. Then the bridge was broken. Metro work was going on. Then there was a morcha. By the time he comes to the girl, he's
But
like,
so
he's
my
gay. He's like, I hate women.
So
Sorry.
now that we've become very inclusive, but I
Yeah.
think 21,000 rupees and less, right, per
Hmm.
month, and
Yeah.
actually, so 2,000 rupees is like 10% of that.
Yeah, true.
You know, and that's a. I mean, think
You're
of
not paying tax. You're almost not paying tax. 21.
you're not paying tax.
Yeah.
You're not paying tax, but at the same time, point is that you the economic shocks that are available. Like one of the things that blew my mind. I mean, I've been at Media Network India now for 5 years, and I'd never thought of, for example, there's one of our investees and who will also feature in Smartphone Nation. But what they do is they help people in this, bottom 60% invest money, right? And you know what their ticket size is?
What?
700 rupees, 800 rupees. So Kaleidofin is basically going around, rural Tamil Nadu, all of these places where they're actually asking women to say, hey, put whatever you've got,
Hmm.
Yeah.
500 rupees, 70 rupees, 90 rupees, like basically invest it, right? And the economic shock, another investee of ours, right? They'd help people just save money for like surgery and stuff,
Hmm.
right? Because
It's like an insurance.
like
plan.
not just insurance, just money, like liquid cash
Okay.
for surgery and stuff. So, either we'll give you a loan or here's a way to save money for cash,
Wow.
for surgery.
Again, it's a private party.
Private party.
Okay.
And now the government.
Sorry to be cynical. What's in it for them when they do that?
So there are some returns on.
Spreading the love.
No. So one is some like you'll take
Or you-
sub-market
you-
returns.
So you're getting their money as the premium sort of thing, if you want to
Yeah.
call it that. So they have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically,
I'm not
whatever-
against all this. I
No, no,
always
but
like to
I'm
see what,
saying-
I
I'm
don't like
saying-
Matlabi situations. I like to know what.
No, but
what's
Cyrus,
happening.
like for example, if let's say our money, like we put money into one of these kind of things, they will get, maybe we'll get 7% back,
Hmm.
right? We'll get 7%
True.
back because the company is making 9%.
Hmm.
Oh, shouldn't be that
No.
bad, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like whatever, 7.5, right?
Hmm.
Let's say instead over there it's 5.5% and the company is making 5.8,
Okay.
right? So the returns are obviously sub-market, but at the same time, the practice itself is sort of bringing you into the formal sector.
So it's more like a
Mm.
social sort of thing from one point of view, but there's no cost to company where you lose.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not. I mean, the whole
Yeah.
look. Ultimately, doing good is also good business, right? Because more people.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm more comfortable with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because
correct.
I can't believe this Mother Teresa spirit after a point. So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, what you do, whatever you're doing, we're human beings.
Yeah.
So human frailty being what it is, you can't expect them to go beyond the pale.
Yeah,
you know?
but I think see over there are non-profit. I mean, there is a non-profit model too,
Yeah,
right? And, I mean, that's kind of not what.
but that's for Scandinavia.
I mean, there are in India, and a lot of them do good work, right?
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, again, from a Smartphone Nation perspective, that's not where we are because we're talking about good economic models.
But
and-
this is fine as long as
being
the
able to
good economic model makes sense and nobody suffers.
No,
But
correct.
yet you're helping a
correct. Yeah.
group.
I mean, it is
or
a business at the end of the day.
That's
I
right.
mean,
It
they
has
are
to be a
making
business.
a revenue and everything. So
No, but they have to see the more revenue they make, the more people they can
They
help. I
can
mean, that's the
serve.
logic, right?
Yeah.
That's social impact,
True, 100%. But there's an elephant in the room you all are not discussing.
which is.
Utsav. Where's he?
Utsav is on vacation actually right now.
While
It's in
people are
Poland.
starving all across India and we're trying to help them, this is what he does. He goes off on vacation.
I think we worked him too hard.
And whose money is he taken? 8 people are dying because their insurance plans are no longer
He
going to
actually has
materialize.
his own full-time job.
What does he do?
Market
He's a
researcher.
market researcher. He's an
Mhm.
ex-engineer turned market
Oh,
researcher,
Yeah.
and now full-time podcaster also.
Yeah.
So he's got a. But
That's
he's,
his intro.
but he's holding a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, he has a 9 to 5 job, and he's a podcaster on the side. Everybody's hustling,
I hope the people.
just like you, Cyrus.
What's the company's name so we can tell them that maybe it's illegal for him to be
I
working
actually don't
outside,
know where he works.
moonlighting on the side like that.
I don't remember where he works.
I bet
I have no
if
idea.
it's called Utsav Communication, then we know that it doesn't really work. We'll find out soon. Yeah. So before we get into Rohan's story, Niv, tell us a little bit about. So what are you guys going to do exactly, the two of you?
The two of us have already done 9 episodes
Yeah.
I know, but I'll tell you, we actually do talk for each episode to CEOs of the companies that are featuring in the episode and their users
Mhm.
who will tell us how their experience has been with the
So you're
company.
seeing both ends of the spectrum: those who
Yep.
come up with the ideas and invest, and those who actually get something out of it. And
Yes, and
we-
the investors
and
from
do we see the
Omidyar.
results?
We
some
see
time
the
will have to
results
pass.
through the stories of the users that have used the product.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, is there any heartwarming, positive story you can tell us off the cuff like that?
I mean, I can actually. From a Masai school, he said that there was one he was a delivery man, but also a tractor driver before. And then he joined Masai school so that he could learn how to code.
Mhm.
But he didn't have a place to go.
How
Like,
old would we be, this guy?
he would have been in his
Early
20s.
20s,
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a young dude. And he went back home. He used to live with apparently 10, 12 people in one house. So
It's
he
called
didn't have a
India.
lot of place to live in the house. So he would stay back in the Masai school office and he would study and then go do his job and come back to the office itself, clean his clothes at home. And now he's like earning 18 lakhs per annum at
Wow.
at an IT firm, which is pretty great
Wow.
if you think
How
about it.
long did that process take from the time he signed up with the Masai school and all that, like vaguely?
So I think this is a 6 month to 12 month
That's
course.
it?
6 to a year.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. And the thing about Masai school is you don't have to pay any amount of money before you join it. So
Mhm.
they will train you. And then after they train you and you get placed, that's when they get you.
What
to
about
pay them back.
capitation? You can make some money on the side. Have you thought about it? Bro, you need me on your team. You guys are bleeding liberals. You got to make some money on the side. What's happened to India? My country
Cyrus, you're a liberal.
it's changing in front of us. We look the other way and people are throwing money around left, right, and center. You
Yeah.
have to make something, guys. I hope you come back with better stories. I'm just kidding.
About how we made money.
Yeah.
We get a salary.
You obviously sold Utsav to fund the next round of episodes. Okay, so that's it. We'll come back and talk about this towards the end, and if anybody has questions about it, we'll again talk about it. But now let's go to the life and times of Rohan.
Okay.
The young,
I'm so excited about this.
very interesting journey. But he's first and foremost. I think you'll always be a sports nut for life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
unlike me, your moods get altered because I know you're now in a totally different business, but if you were Sri Lanka, for example, yesterday,
Yeah.
and you suddenly see 50, and my mom is so sweet, Sparsh, you got to hear this story. My mom and I are watching together. It's 50. She's asking me, what's the asking rate for India? It's a 50 over match, and the score is 50. And my mom, both things at the age where all she does is watch TV. I'm like, Mom, it's 50 for 50.
Oh.
51. Okay, yeah.
But I don't want to know. Did you not want to do your passion as a job at some point? Is that one of the reasons?
So I mean, I can talk about that now or later, but I've kind of been able to do that. I've always been in sport, right? So whether it was playing before or whether it's as a sports journalist, and then I moved to a company called Red Bull where I was sort of working again in the
He
heart
actually
of
set up
sport.
everything in Red Bull. Lots of, I don't know whether to talk about them, but these ridiculous events, which I thought were ridiculous, but they were so popular. And,
oh wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, so again over there working with a whole bunch of like really high level, top level athletes. We even created our own cricket championship, which has now led to people like what's
was it the ISL or something? What is it?
No, Red Bull Campus Cricket. It was a
Okay.
campus. It was college level tournament.
Huh.
KL Rahul,
Wow.
Adam Makram,
Whoa.
Rabada. All of these guys played there, and a lot of
Before
them
they
were
were famous?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and I can keep going on. Mayank Agarwal,
Really?
yeah. There's a whole bunch
They're best buddies anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have come together.
They were
anyway.
Jain College. So Jain
Yeah.
College, Vijay Bharadwaj,
Yeah.
the selector of Karnataka, was
That's amazing.
at one of the events, and he's like, "Oh my God, I've forgotten about these kids." Probably exaggerating, but I think that it was like, and the next thing you know, they're in the Karnataka.
What was Markham and gang, Rabada and all doing?
So we then took this. So this was in
South
India,
Africa.
and then we took it global. So we had the world final. So the last one that I did was the world final was between Australia and South Africa. At the so Australia, I forget the school, but the Asapol Tuks from South Africa. and
In the finals. Yeah.
at the Oval.
Do they have
So-
overage kids like Delhi under 19?
No. So
Okay.
that's long past.
Okay, you never know.
Yeah.
I'm just checking. They're
Yeah.
different cultures. You gotta
No,
find
like
them.
I still remember turning up for these club sides and all,
Yeah.
playing against these under 19 sides.
Say
from
the name
north.
of the state and all. Don't be so scared,
No,
Rohan.
I'm just saying.
You little Maharashtrian boy. Come on,
so-
because you are made to bloody sign your Aadhaar card from day
So-
one.
So
Yeah.
no, and
There are 15 states in
like-
India where nobody cares about your birth certificate.
like
Don't worry.
the guy had a beard. I mean, like he had a beard. He had like chest hair coming out. He was like 3 times as wide as I
Yeah,
was, and
yeah.
I'm like batting with this guy with
Yeah.
my helmet, like
Yeah.
hoping nothing
Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
Like the balls are going past here, and I'm like,
And he was shouting, Uncle Dheere se. Because clearly.
and that time I was like proper I got better with the bat, but I was like proper number 7, number 8 at that point. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And back then, number 7, number 8 means you were already into the tail.
Yeah.
Not like today
Yeah.
where, even
Yeah.
11 bats. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do. And so like in one of these games, like this happened, and I just put my bat up, like uppercut before uppercut became famous. Ball flew over slips for a 4. And that guy got even more angry, yeah. So he started bowling like Yorkers at my feet. Like Vakar Yunus style. It's like, shit. I was like, I can't take this anymore. So I just went and told
But
my
it's
partner,
amazing
I was
that today Jasprit Bumrah is now a household name. Sorry, just kidding around. But why isn't this? Why do you continue with this school thing? It sounds like a winner.
No. So it's still going on.
You're just not running it.
I'm
anymore.
not at
Okay,
Red Bull
okay.
anymore. So
So the next lot of talent will discover the odd Rabada and the odd Markham
yeah, so
and the
it's
odd
coming. I mean,
KL.
look, the point of anything is that, or especially a lot of the stuff at Red Bull, right? Like this is a second. Like we thought of it as a second opportunity. When I was playing, there was no second opportunity. You had your shot at 19,
Yeah.
and then you had your shot. If you didn't make it to
You
the
didn't go
Ranji
up the
team, you were
ranks,
done.
you're done. Yeah.
You're done, right?
Yeah.
So, which is what happened to a lot of
So
us.
how good were you actually?
I was very average.
No, honestly, tell us. So what did you play? Under 19s?
Under 19s.
For Mumbai?
I played under 19s. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
But not for Mumbai.
Okay.
But at
She's laughing. It's like you're
Put
making up
him
your
on
own.
the spot like
Niv's
that.
mind is he's making up his own tournament. I've been under 19s.
no,
you know.
because I'm like we open up a can of worms you don't want to go into. But I think
Indians are 2 types, right? Indian male. There's a guy who tells you he's great and he's done so well and he's played well. I've met so many people say, I played with Virat. I used to play for Delhi under 19. And there's your type who is very modest and will not tell us. So you have to try and figure out what he really did. You know?
no, but I played. So the thing is, I played for my college, and I which is Ruya.
Yeah.
And
But Ruya is a big college in cricket, okay?
yeah.
I mean,
used
to be. So right now a little less, but definitely 80s, 90s is huge.
But I went to college just at the end of the 90s and
Okay.
early 2000s.
Hey, easy.
I'm just saying.
Don't make the old man feel bad.
So I'm just
Stop
saying.
that. Don't be ageism. I don't like that. No.
And then I hurt my knee, and that was it. And see, that time we didn't have any. There was no physio. Like there was one Ali Irani poor guy who was looking at 5,000.
By the end, he was carrying
point.
bags for the cricketers also.
Yeah.
He was an all-rounder. Yeah,
No,
poor
but
guy.
poor,
was
Ali
great.
Irani was amazing, right? He still is. And but the thing is, we also I couldn't afford going to Ali Irani, and then and then we had coaches who were like, "Hey, just run it off, and like you're running, and like imagine having an ACL and bloody trying to run four
Men were
rounds
men
of-
then. The coaches are telling you just keep running. That's the thing you need.
Except that men were men, then they didn't have knees.
Yeah.
So now,
Why do you
like-
need knees? What do you need knees?
What do you need knees
You
for?
knees.
Of course, in sport. It's
Oh,
just
come on. Knees are
completely like-
overrated. One knee should be enough. You can manage with that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
One
That's
knee
what
for
men do.
For the whole team, one knee is enough, I would think. They don't need more than that. Oh, I'm told we have to take a break. Sparish is pointing his middle finger towards his ear, which is a signal in certain tribes in Polynesia for, recess. So we're taking a recess. We'll come back. Rohan's going to talk to us some more about his life. And then once again about this brand new show, which is already 1 episode old.
Yeah.
Called?
Smartphone Nation.
I was testing you. I knew it. Smartphone Nation when we come back.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, Ashton Doctor is in conversation with the multi-talented Manisha Kelkar. She's a race car driver, actress, and TEDx speaker. Their discussion centers around how to transform a hobby into an all-consuming passion leading to global recognition. On Pop Rap, Snehil and Antariksh are joined by Mohit Raina, the star of the brand new show The Freelancer, streaming on Hotstar. Mohit shares stories from his time working on the hit mythological show Mahadev to taking up an action-packed role in The Freelancer. Folks, if you like our shows, do spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life, IDFC First Bank, and Save Life Foundation. Thank you for making this possible.
All right, welcome back with a pundit when it comes to sports and cricket, especially. Played cricket under 19s till he was 36, and then, of course, became an entrepreneur. Oh, before that was one of the pioneers in sports journalism. Rohan is with us. Vyavaharkar, if you're having trouble with the surname, break it up. Oh, by the way, here's something for our regular listeners, because we have a bit of a feed where people know about our personal lives. He comes from the same community.
I knew it. I knew that's coming up.
Vijay Kunalkar himself, also known as Kunal.
Oh.
Same community. And Kunal's whole thing is, our men are all ugly, our women are all pretty. So I said, and Rohan's not a bad looking guy, so he's like one of the, he's just like,
I may be a woman.
He effed it up completely.
I may be a woman. Yeah.
And Kunal just tell me this matter of fact way. Of course, I mean, all ugly. And poor Shreyas Talpade and all making waves on his own. Yeah. So, non-vegetarian community, one of the rare, hardcore.
What do you mean, non-vegetarian community?
Ask him. They're a party community.
Yeah, with
good food,
party,
good drinks.
Yeah, 24-hour party people.
Sweet.
Cuisine is fantastic. Like for people like me, we're safe there. Unlike, not to be rude to other cultures, but I could live in a Patari Prabhu mix and not have a problem. Because women are pretty also. Where could I go wrong? And the men aren't good looking, apparently. Yeah, apparently. You have to go back.
Wow,
Are you? Where do you stay now?
I'm here in Bandra, like I'm five streets down.
Oh, you're 5 streets
sweet.
down from this recording studio.
But like my entire, like that's the whole thing, right? Patay Prabhu is like 800 years in Bombay. Like we have history in every part of Bombay.
Yeah.
Of the city.
Yeah. You're one of the founding fathers.
Yeah, like not me, but yeah.
No,
like
but people don't know this.
So
someone in your family?
So no.
The community is one of the first.
So you know the Mahim Fort, right? Like of course South Bombay doesn't see it that often, but I think that
we see it all the time.
How when you're coming from, but now LG Road, but now you're ceiling.
You forget that your great cousin, 12 times removed, points out everything.
Correct.
By the end, Shivaji's 12 forts are his. You don't worry about it. Yeah.
So the Mahim Fort was actually helped. Like we helped build that fort. When I say we, as in the community, but
yeah. Well, ask him where they trace their roots. Okay, they trace their roots from Normandy. Their French ancestry. This is not a joke.
Is this something Kunal
I'm not joking about this. I have attended it with him, where they had this whole there was a convocation or whatever you call it, and they were all talking,
But
William the Conqueror is the name mentioned.
I'll go
now, guy. William the Conqueror.
I'll go back to Patan. I'll go to Patan, which is like Rajasthan.
Rajasthan is
Gujarat.
Rajasthan is a known fact. Okay, there's a known fact.
I'll go back to that. This William the Conqueror and all. I mean,
Rajasthan is a known fact that you can trace properly. But going back in time to 1066, Battle of Hastings, William the Conqueror takes over England, and then one boat went the wrong way and landed up on the Gujarat coast.
Yeah, I'm like we've completely bypassed Genghis Khan at this point.
Yeah, you have.
It's like why?
Yeah. Huh? They landed up here, brought their meat and drink. Gujarati community, as with the party, said, "Ekre nahi," and pushed them off. And then they landed up in Mumbai.
You're not originally Maharashtrian.
No, what is originally Maharashtrian?
There's nothing like that.
What is originally anything? Everybody used to come from somewhere.
The first settlers, the Kolis were the natives of Bombay.
So they say, Kolis, Parsis, Patri Prabhus. These are the three. Am I right?
Yeah.
The foremost communities. We should run the whole place. And everybody else should be taking money from them. Like Lagan. We should be like, I don't care whether you speak Marathi or Gujarati or
but then there are the East Indians also.
Okay, forts. I will give them also.
You'll have to the Salsette community also. You'll have to.
They make good food. Yeah,
also true.
They do. Be nice.
And there are lots of land in Bandra.
And also pretty women.
That is
be careful, father-in-law is watching.
He's already called me Rahul. He probably thinks I'm someone else. He's like, oh, this is not Rahul. This is some Rohan guy. Our daughter's married to Rahul Vyavaharkar. Not him.
I hope he watches.
Now
I want him to watch.
He's probably going to see the thumbnail on YouTube and be like, oh, somebody called Rohan looks just like your husband.
Yeah. Oh, better looking. Very close, but better looking. Yeah.
Give me the timestamp. I'll send him only this.
We will put the link up for sure. This is worth it, Rohan. Come on. If we can split families, that's what we do at IVM. It's a weekend job for us. All right, let's get back to your life and times. So then you moved up from there. Then you went to NDTV.
No, NDTV to Red Bull.
Okay, NDTV Red Bull,
marketing and communications. Yeah. Then from there, set up all these things, and then moved to Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
where I was doing marketing and communications again for about a year.
Mhm.
And
This is Twitter well before Elon Musk
This
came.
is Twitter well
so
before
you,
Elon.
you,
This is
you
this
had
is
your job
this is
safe and
this is Twitter before even Jack Dorsey. This is
Oh,
Dick
what?
Costolo's time. Yeah. So we used to have a
you know
CEO.
what Dick Costello was? I don't even know.
So there was a CEO called
So
Dick
Jack Dorsey
Costolo.
wasn't the original boss?
Jack Dorsey was Evan Stone and Jack Dorsey initially
Started
were
it,
sort
right?
of yeah,
Founders.
and a couple of others sort of
Mhm.
started it, and then Ev Williams and all of those guys, and then you had Jack who'd taken over, then handed over to Dick Costello when they went public, and then
Mm.
sort of Dick was the CEO of India. He came here.
Was he a
With-
bit of a Dick Costello?
No, he was actually a stand-up comic, really nice guy, by the
Wow.
way.
With a name
Wow.
like that, he should
So,
be.
yeah, he came
Sorry.
to. Actually, I'm
He
sure
performed?
There's a joke. No, he didn't perform. He went. He
He
came
moved
as
up.
a statesman. Yeah.
yeah.
So he came here and then he went and met the prime minister, and we had a whole bunch of things around here. Yeah,
Ah,
and
okay.
and then it was interesting. It was an interesting sort of time, and then we sort of launched this something called Twitter Samvad, which was again interesting. But again, moving on from there, and then I did that for about a year. Then I went and worked with Mahesh Bhupati, had set up something called the
Oh.
International Premier Tennis League.
Yeah.
So I went and set up a company to run I set up a company on the side to run a team.
I was quite excited
at
about that, but
Singapore.
then the guys didn't turn up or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, it was a bit
Year
of a
two?
yeah.
Year
So
two.
so I ran the Singapore team for 2 years. Both
Mhm.
years we won.
Who played? Who
So-
were the big guns in Singapore?
We had Carlos Moya, Nick Kyrgios, Belinda Bencic, Carolina Pliskova. We had Carlos Melo, who was then the number one in the doubles, and Moya, of course.
Moya was past his prime, but
Moya past his prime, but he
Yeah.
was in the legend segment anyway, right?
huh.
But incredible coach, right? Like I don't know if
You're
you
a
all
tennis
followed
fan?
I'm not a tennis fan, but I know these names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what he
The
did with
famous
Nadal,
names.
right? Like for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
he was so
Yeah.
he was there, and we for 2 years we were sort of doing that, and that was incredible. Like from as a sports fan, just being like.
So
just
now that you said we're doing
being
tennis for a
excited.
second, let's just talk for a minute.
Hmm.
Greatest of all time, 24 and still going another year or two, maybe at least a year.
Yeah, and
Huh?
like I hate to admit it, but
Unstoppable, winning from all kinds of positions.
unbelievable.
Refused to take the vaccine. I mean, he's lost 2 or 3 Grand Slams just because of attitude issues.
Yeah.
So he could be 25 or 26 right now as we speak. Literally, technically.
No, really.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't have to like him, right? Like the point is, I
I
don't have,
like him.
I don't have to like him to respect him. My point is, see,
Is it
ultimately-
because of the pee break that he takes?
No,
He's
no,
got
I
this-
just look.
he's famous for that.
I just feel like, and again, this is someone who I've actually met, right? Like Roger Federer is the kind of guy who you can actually just have a conversation with.
Yeah, he's very.
I've
Oh.
also met Novak, and Novak's unfortunately not. I mean, he's okay. Like he's not.
He's not
like-
friendly.
Like
Appears
he's
to be very friendly.
No,
he
he's
doesn't
very.
seem like a friendly.
No,
person.
he's
he does.
very chill. Okay,
He's a great mimic.
I've met Novak a little bit like in more formal circumstances,
Hmm.
so that could be it. Roger has
Oh.
been slightly in the in the locker room, etc.
No, Roger
a
is
couple of
famous
times.
for being like really laid
Right,
back.
he just completely
like,
goes out
whoever
of your way
you-
to
yeah,
make you feel
Yeah,
comfortable.
he's a
right?
bit. He's got that Shahrukh. They all seem of the same quality. Make you feel
Yeah.
important.
And
Yeah.
and of course,
Yeah.
like now, if I came in front of Roger, like there's zero chance he'll remember me.
No, he
right?
won't
Like,
remember you, but he'll always be nice to you.
Correct,
It's just
exactly.
impossible for him not to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And
We're
like,
saying it like he's my
like-
son or something. My better
My
like,
Raghu.
so
mom
protective,
used to-
like,
mom
so
used to-
Raghu is a
protective.
well-brought-up kid. Yeah.
Like-
My mom was such a big fan of Federer. She just like in her head.
can't
was
not
like,
like
"He's my
Federer."
son.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Yeah,
have any
everybody
sons,
likes
so-
Federer.
I read a really funny story today about Federer.
Yeah.
Since we're talking tennis, is when he first made it like big in Switzerland, right?
Mhm.
He had won a couple of challengers and sort of people lot of attention.
Hmm.
So someone asked him, is like, obviously this isn't Swiss German, but someone asked him like, what would you like when
Let's
you
just
grow
do
up?
the accent, and with that we will convey to the viewer.
My
Was wir
my
sein zu
accent is not
Terrible.
very
I'm
good.
so we
but-
can do something.
yeah,
And what did he say?
super, yeah.
Hmm.
But I think that so his
Yourself.
so the journalist asked him like, what do you want when you get when you win something, what do you want? So the mother next day reads the paper and he's like, my son has said Mercedes. Like, what the hell? Like, what is wrong with him? I'm going to go whack him, right? Because
Pretentious.
Yeah. They're known to be like, his family is known to be very, very
Down to earth.
grounded.
Yeah.
So she went to the journalist like, did my son really say Mercedes? So he's like, no, let me listen to the recording. Then listen to the recording. The mother's like, okay, finally I'm relieved. He said more CDs, like more CDs. I want more CDs when I win.
Oh.
Like that's
In
German.
German.
Roger Fed. Yeah, in German.
Mayor is in more and
More
CDs.
CDs. Like that's
Wow.
Fed for
Yeah,
you.
wow.
But again,
what
I
a waste
think-
of money, but no. You have all that money, I'll buy a CD today.
No, but like Djokovic, I think is just is.
And
There's
also,
no question.
What is
that
it?
he's
It's like what? Almost a dozen wins in Australia. He's got what? 4 at the US Open now.
10, 4,
So you
10
can't say
four,
this,
10 fours, 8 and
8 at Wimbledon and French 3.
3, no? Would be 21. What I...
Yeah, 21, 20, 21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10, 8, 4,
23.
22 and 1 or
Yeah.
2.
No,
Two,
but
two.
my point is there's no real weak link.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at a guy who's on all 4 surfaces performed. Okay, one is better than the other, but there's no weak link.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in the
Yeah,
history of
he's
tennis,
a-
there will
No, like even if you go back to 2009, right? The year that Fed lost to Del Potro at the US Open, where he had won all 3. He had won.
missed the Grand Slam.
He missed the Grand Slam. It would have been like a Golden Slam, right? And sorry, no, it would have been a Grand Slam. And the point is that even then, he won only because that Soderling defeated Nadal.
Yeah, on clay.
On clay.
Yeah.
He didn't beat Nadal in the final.
Nadal's unbeatable on clay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was one bad day that Nadal had, and he
Unless
lost
he's
to
injured or
Soderling, and
something.
then he came to the final.
It's
And
only loss actually, almost.
there's a couple of others, no?
Yeah,
Alcaraz
yeah.
also. Yeah. So
Later,
yeah.
towards the end. But back to Djokovic, last word. But is it not because that debate is going to go on forever? Three
Yeah.
of them, between them, 60 odd Grand Slams in a generation. Literally, they wiped out everybody else. Murray has one. It's like ridiculous. There's just nobody.
Murray is like
Yeah,
3.
but-
I'm not counting the
Yeah.
last 2 years,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying
Yeah.
everybody has 3. Okay,
I'm sure we'll have new players like
but this kind of dominance,
eventually.
3-man dominance, is never going to happen again.
No, but
I
this
don't
is
think
just,
so.
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Think
It
about
is.
all the players that have fallen by the wayside, right?
Yeah.
Like the Wawrinka,
Yeah, wow.
right?
Oh.
Raonic,
Yeah.
Del
And
Potro. like-
Wawrinka would train with Federer.
Yeah.
He had the
I mean,
opportunity to beat
they
him.
grew up together,
Yeah.
right?
Was Roddick in this generation?
Yeah.
Little
He
towards
was,
the
but he just
towards
he
the end
played
of Roddick
like
is the
what?
beginning of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he doesn't, due respect, can't stack up to these.
Not at all.
No.
But he was a good player. At his
Fantastic,
Fantastic.
as good as they come. But these 3 have just the bar is somewhere else.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
mean-
think, Ron? Are we ever going to see this kind of 20
I-
odd each? Who's
I-
going to ever win it?
Yeah, again, I mean, I don't know. Look, I think there might be one.
Alcaraz may win 10 or 15.
Yeah,
you know,
but
he
I
keeps
think that
going.
there will be one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But see, sorry,
but
go
not
ahead.
There were
3.
people before that were like ruling for
Emerson was
decades.
on his own, for example. Lava was on his own.
Yeah, but these guys never.
Agassi.
Yeah, but they never had. But there was never like this trifecta, or even
Yeah.
That's true.
even like we talk about Bog and McEnroe, but we forget that was really just Wimbledon, you know.
Yeah.
Because when you went
Two-
on the
Two
French,
Wimbledon is one, he wins one.
yeah, 3, whatever, 3, 4 in like,
But
but they also had
clashed, I think,
semis and all.
81.
80-81, yeah,
Yeah.
those 2, yeah. But point is that you go back in history, like the fact that these guys are just competing tooth and nail for
In
Yeah.
such a competitive
in
world.
such a competitive.
They're so
Yeah.
bloody good, all of them. And these
Yeah.
things just kept. This
Yeah.
Djokovic
Just
doesn't lose
geniuses.
a friggin' final.
But now
Yeah.
now they've set up. Now the thing is, I think why it might be possible is because now there's a template.
Yeah.
So if you want to be somebody, you can be a Nadal, you can be
Yeah.
a Federer, you can be a Djokovic. But because now there's a template, so I think we might see this again.
Well,
Mm.
But
Look
like
at-
for example, Ruud.
Yeah.
I can see
Ruud,
Casper
Zverev.
Ruud, Zverev, and Alcaraz.
Sorry.
Today, I'm saying today we don't know, but when they graduate into their own sort
Yeah,
of,
but they're already in the
thing.
mid 20s. So when you're
That's
looking
also
ahead,
true.
No, but
8-9 years more of tennis, how much can they win?
Yeah, that's
I don't think how these statistics are not possible.
But it's interesting that the same thing happened even in women's tennis during this generation, with the Williams sisters dominating for a very, very long time.
But
Yeah.
actually, I mean, it
Well,
wasn't
Serena
really
more.
Venus.
Yeah. Serena
Yeah,
more.
it was just Serena
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
until Serena came, it was Venus, and then
Venus
Serena
is,
came, and it was
record
like
is doesn't
planned,
compare with
wasn't it?
Serena, with due respect. I don't
Yeah,
think.
no, it does.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
I think 7. I think
Yeah.
7 to
I
7.
mean, Serena's another level again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I have another question to ask you. I've never understood is you say tennis, but you don't say penis. And why do you say
But-
penis and not tennis?
Because tennis, no,
that's a double
tennis,
N.
which penis does not have 2 N's.
Yeah,
Talk about your own penis. I hope your father-in-law is not listening. It's a good time to call Rahul.
it's a good thing he doesn't know his name.
Yeah, wow, really.
He's like,
Okay,
that,
so
that Rahul is a real penis.
is he a tennis fan?
No, I said he'll say Rahul
No,
is a real
I know.
penis.
I was just
He's
taking it
not- no,
further.
he's not.
But if you want to, we can carry on with the penis jokes. We've reached that point where it doesn't matter. People are listening, are really depressed.
My
Yeah.
mom listens to this
Oh my!
podcast.
I apologize to her immediately. Really, yeah.
She seems to enjoy it.
Did you
so
play
it's
tennis when you were
whatever.
young?
Not at all.
No.
I played basketball actually.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
a
no.
tall
And
girl.
Badminton.
Nice.
Good at baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I used to be.
India's revival in baddie.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Fantastic. Look
Not
at
revival. It's
not revival, but the males now. The males coming to the fore. You know, we've got 4
Yeah.
or 5, so 500 winners, etc. in the last bit.
Yeah.
Not bad. Pranoy. So looking good. Baddie's
Pranav
looking good.
Laksha, yeah, very good. Yeah.
Laksha is still there.
You know,
The-
look,
in fact, Sindhu falling down a little bit has worried me. Her last 3 months have not been good.
yeah, but I think, I mean, look,
She's here to stay.
like,
You're not worried.
I'll quote the great poet Ravi Shastri, right?
Yes, of course.
Form
Ravi
is-
Shankar Jaidrit. Shastri.
Form is Form is
temporary, class is
class is
permanent.
permanent.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you know, I think these people will bounce back.
But it's a very competitive field,
It
especially
is, no,
the
it is.
ladies
It's,
badminton at the moment.
absolutely, yeah.
That we got girls from all over Taiwan, Korea. They've all suddenly
Yeah.
coming up. China's in fact been fading into the
But
back.
like, you know, Europe
Hmm.
is going through this massive revival, right?
Yeah.
Of 10. I mean, you have
Axelsen
the
and
Marin and you have
yeah,
Axelsen,
yeah.
you have those two sort
But
of
she
examples.
Marin is also
She's
appears to be
out, no?
fading. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
she's
I
out.
think so.
Yeah, she's fading. No, but I think what we are seeing in badminton.
I don't know what
I hope
this
she's
is
not getting
about.
bored. I just realized
I'm not.
I don't like doing
I
this
actually
because when the
interrupted
sports
you guys.
no, I
in
tell
the
you, it's like
middle.
racism. The sports lovers start talking, we forget about other people.
No.
And then suddenly
I'm
it
into
becomes
this.
a very unfair conversation.
It's
So,
not
sorry,
a
I'll just
conversation I don't understand.
I'll just make one thing which has parallels with Smartphone Nation, right? Like
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think,
nice.
but I think it's because, you know, why we're seeing this in so much of sport, right? Neeraj Chopra, like what we're seeing now is a result of years of some investment and some interest, right? A lot, like Neeraj Chopra, for example, you can trace back to Abhinav Bindra's moment in 2008.
Or the
right?
fact that if you live in Gurgaon, you throw things.
But the poor guy doesn't live in Gurgaon.
He used to. I traced him back to his native village, somewhere in the Haryana, and it was the Gurgaon.
You stalked all the sports players. Huh?
I did. You imagine the neighbors, all the windows are broken and all. This guy was practicing. There's nowhere to go. Chadda ji, sorry. Thak.
It's like if there's one place that explains why boxing is so famous, there is Bhiwani in Haryana.
Yeah.
Like, because what else can you do? Like, where are you going to take that
Yeah,
frustration?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
What about the one? It's too late now. What about the
Yeah.
one less aggressive guy who doesn't want to be a boxer? He wants to do MBA or something in Haryana. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
like that.
Yeah.
You do
goes
MBA
up.
in boxing.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, no, but even there, right? Like, I mean, jokes apart, I think what Haryana is doing in terms of their sports policy, etc. Like,
They've got all the sports.
it's fascinating. Like, it's fascinating. I mean, you're saying so. Not a lot of this stuff is not perfect, right? Which is even what we realize with Smartphone Nation. I mean, you need market. You
Yep.
need market.
So you're saying you
solutions.
open the pool. I
Yeah.
would call it the Dhoni moment for India.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great way to
The
describe
pool
it.
opens.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, with due respect to Rohan and all, most of the people playing in urban
Yeah.
India come from the middle class and above.
Yeah.
Okay, who actually pursued cricket. I mean, they're all educated if you look at that. Not that either way is a bad way. But Dhoni opened it out to the smaller cities. And then suddenly, right now, Mumbai, Delhi are not giving you so many stars. Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, as much as they would have.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, and you talk to Harsha Bogle, right?
Yeah.
He talks about hunger.
Yeah.
Like, it's ultimately it
Yeah.
boils down to
It's
hunger.
like the African Americans in
Yeah.
boxing in the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, it ultimately
That's why
just comes
I
down to
put my
hunger.
kids into a small village in Jabalpur, just outside. And I said, now you manage. And today,
You
my
give
son
them
has
pizza.
won 4 Wimbledons in 1 year. In 1 year. It's a world record.
You'd have to do that throughout their childhood for them to be that
It's a
good.
it's a Wimbledon record.
No, I talked to Bobby Jim guys about this the whole thing. Why aren't the kids playing? See, the problem with money and urbanization is the love for sport is there because we all love it. But they can't have that hunger to play.
Yeah.
So they can't compete with the guy coming from Nalasopara
But I
who's
think-
taken 3 hours to reach the freaking Maidan. He's not getting zero and getting out. He's going to bat.
But
You know?
but Cyrus, that's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, whole point is we have made sport, and now you're getting into my favorite topic of all time. You made sport competitive. The point is we
True.
played sport.
No, but that's like
You
what
play
is-
rugby, you played
Yeah.
cricket. You played because you love it. Like, you're never going to be like, you know, like,
But that's what you're doing now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By opening it's a
That's
tough
right,
one. But
right.
how many rich people are
no,
really...
but my point is why should see, because ultimately sport, see, and I'll tell you, right? Like, we were talking earlier about the child of the security guard. Like, the child of the security guard, see, the security guard, right? What wants his child or her child to be
The child of a rickshaw driver just 24 hours ago from this recording took 6 wickets for 21 runs.
True.
Okay.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
think you can think of that happening 40 years ago.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. So sport, like that I think that again speaks volumes to where we have evolved today as a country,
Mhm.
right? Let's be clear, right? Because we had Maharajas running the bloody Indian cricket team, which is true.
But isn't it a dramatic story? Like Mohammad Siraj comes from, let's face it, penury almost.
Yeah.
And he's the toast of India.
Yeah.
Most popular name, at least right now. So, I mean...
And the point is, like, you know, you go even 60 years before, right? At the time of independence, etc. Which I know there's more, but I'm saying
when
that
Niv and I were dating for the first time back in the day, sweetie. Huh.
I don't know where that
It's
came
like we're
from.
taking it out on her because she's
Random.
the young person here. Hey, Dumbo, you're the young person here. Remember what India was like?
No, actually, I do. I was not that young.
Wait, so are you taking a dig at me?
No.
I
You're way closer to me than her.
correct.
In
That's-
terms of
that's-
age. My brother Rahul.
Yeah.
What does it say on your tattoo? What does your tattoo say? This is for your brother. This is for your father-in-law. It says, my name is Rohan. My name is Rohan. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
I think you know, like we had the Maharajas like
Yeah.
running, and they were patrons of the State Association of Cricket.
Correct. And you
Right.
couldn't move them.
You couldn't,
Yeah.
like the point is like,
And literally wouldn't run between the wickets.
I mean,
and
even
all.
someone, both Cyrus and I have great respect for, like even, Raj Singh Dungarpur, right?
But he was a decent medium pacer.
He was a good player.
Apparently with a long run up. Amrit Mathur episode will release soon. Please listen to that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that isn't out yet.
No, so he could bowl outswing. But
Yeah, yeah.
the whole thing is that many of these guys overrated their pace. So you have a Shoaib Akhtar run up or a Jeff Thompson, let's say, Michael
Correct.
Holding run up of
Correct.
the old days. And it's not that quick. But that's deceptive, Rohan. That's also something. Yeah. The batsman's on the back foot immediately with guys coming from the side spin.
So, sorry,
Yeah.
Maidan talk.
Yeah.
But
She's given up on the show.
No,
She's like, where's Utsav? These two oldies are
You're
boring me to
making-
death.
no, you're making assumption. I'm actually enjoying this very much.
Yeah.
It's something interesting.
I'm sorry for
it's something different.
No, but to be
Like
fair,
strategic
it's
first.
my fault. I know
No,
this.
no.
I've been told many times that I meet someone who's crazy about sports.
Everyone
like
in my
Rohan.
family is
I-
crazy about sports.
Yeah, so we
so
just-
I've been in sports conversations.
go
But I'm
on
just
and on.
not like.
You know what I'm stressing about? I'm stressing about all the mistakes I've made in terms of statistics.
That's fine.
So I don't know if Venus is 7.
This is the podcast.
So,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Tennis.
You're allowed to be wrong.
We
on
lost
this
the
podcast.
people on tennis, so that's fine. That's gone. There's no worry. Okay, we do AMAs. We're running out of time.
Alright,
Ma'am,
let's do it.
what are the AMAs? Let's check it out. One quick thing was we will run out of time. World Cup prediction, and please don't say India just like that. Give me a proper reason first.
I don't have to say India, do I?
No, you can, but give me a
No.
because this Asia Cup final was great, but we're playing in 9 different places. Blah blah blah. Blue blue. There's form. There's injury, and the Aussies and the Africans are looking fantastic. The
They
batting
are,
is
yeah.
their
they-
batting is now crack.
Yeah,
If
they're
you look at that,
crack.
Klaasen at 5 and Miller at 6 to finish.
Yeah.
And they got a
That-
top 2 openers. Bauma has got some serious form. De Kock is back in form.
Yeah.
And then you got those 2 guys in the middle.
Yeah.
Van Dusen and Markham. They're all
and,
doing
and
well.
I think the weather will suit them.
They got 2 slow bowlers of repute if they play
Yeah.
Maharaj and Shamsi.
No, and for me, they're definitely the second favorite.
Yeah.
I think.
So India
For-
first?
No, I think for me actually
England. Yeah. God,
Because
they're
they're just looking so strong.
They're scary.
I mean, you can never write Australia off, but
No.
the way England just approaches the game
My God.
is just like I'm waiting to see because this is just going to be so user friendly, batter friendly,
yeah.
and like the minute you just let those guys on,
They remind me of 1996 Sri Lanka. They just come one after another. One is worse than the other. Bang, bang, bang.
and ruthless, right? Because
Ruthless.
they just dropped Roy,
Yeah.
and they
Rightly so, because they're competition.
No, but that's
I
my
know how
point.
Root is holding
Like,
his place.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So my point is, if you can afford to just say, "Hey,
Brook
Roy,"
will play.
like,
Brook
yeah,
will play.
but that's my point,
Yeah.
right? They took Brook and they've taken Roy out,
Yeah.
and like that's showing ruthlessness, right? Because
For our viewers, Rohit Roy is not the guy we're talking about. This is another actor called Jason. Jason is a struggling British Saxon actor. Hello, G. Let's go fast.
All right. First AMA is by Ramanathan. Rohan and Cyrus, did you catch the Asia Cup finale after the first innings or thought it better
Catch
to
the
use
finale
time
means-
wisely?
When you have a test one day final, which is 20.5 overs or 21 overs,
yeah.
I mean, that's literally half of a 2020. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the one day I'm completely free to just watch them. I mean, I was like, just cheated.
I came back. I drove back.
Thinking you get the second half.
from a meeting. I planned it in a way that okay, at least I'll get the second.
Yeah,
I'll get
many
the second
people
full
think.
innings. I got back and they're like,
Yeah.
sorry, telecast has ended. I
Yeah.
was like,
How did this
I mean,
happen?
and the problem is that because you're doing that, you don't look at Twitter or you don't look at check scores
Yeah.
anywhere, right? Because
Because
you're
you
like,
don't want to kill it. Yeah,
I don't want to kill
yeah.
it. Let me get there and sort of thing.
But can I quickly tell you one thing which we've discussed 200 times, I won't bring it up again, is that modern batsmen really, the ball was swinging a little bit. There's no attritional batting left. Nobody wants to bat. When you're 12 for 4, why aren't you batting? You're
Yeah.
still playing outside the off some airy-fairy shots. The
Yeah.
captain, Shanaka, what was he doing? I mean, they were 4 down for 12. At that point, I'm saying you're not
Yeah.
going to make 300. You
Yeah.
just try to make 200 or whatever, and you fight. The Dhoni style till the end.
No, but I'll tell you what. Right? So I still play cricket. I go to my nets and
Yeah.
I'll go play.
cricket.
And the point is that the coach is like, nowadays they're not teaching.
Hit it in the
They're
air,
teaching you 1, 2, and you used to have
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
face of the bat, right? Now they're teaching 1, 2 push.
Right.
So the point is there is no
At the
there's no
Oval,
defense.
where
in
I go
left
with my
anymore.
dogs. I don't play cricket.
Huh.
Like little kids, they're small. They hit the ball really hard. They
Yeah.
hit lofted shots from
Yeah.
day one.
Yeah.
Okay, when we were growing up, remember I've discussed this before. You'll have to run the Maidan, no? Immediately if you hit the ball in the air,
Mm.
you're not allowed to
And
lift the
on
ball.
the ground.
Oh,
None of us were
months you couldn't hit the ground.
When my first section
What is
experience,
the
I was so
reason for
nervous
that?
because you're not allowed to hit the ball in the air. Too much. Mom's listening. I apologize.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But
Mom, have you heard her set?
She really likes it though.
does?
Yeah, she
So then
does.
she's not conservative from any angle.
She's not very conservative.
Then what do you care?
Not very.
We're done.
She has a sense of humor, so it's cool.
Like my
Ruben
father.
says, "What is
Wait till she gets married, then we'll know about the sense of humor.
what is India's best batting opening combo in the current team, in your opinion?"
Oh, that's a tough one because what they're going to is Ishan Kishan, I'm and left, right. There's always hope for that, but Rohit has to bat at top,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
At this age, where else to bat him
Yeah,
anyway? And
exactly.
he's still Rohit with 3 double centuries.
Yeah.
Who do you want with him?
I think Gill.
Gill has done too much. You can't move him.
I mean,
and right left doesn't bother you.
No, I think that's especially it would be different if we were playing in, let's say, England or Australia where the ball moves, or even South Africa. I think in India in early October, sort of
October 8th, Chennai, Australia.
Yeah, so early-ish, not ball won't move around much,
So,
even if you're batting second. I think
3 Virat has to stay. There's no other place for Virat.
Yeah, I don't think so.
At 4,
and
KL.
the point is, that's where I think there is.
He's got 100 and 30 odd after
sure,
that.
but I think it also depends on maybe like doing what England does, right? Being a little situational. So I think 4 is where you get
that. I get. That I get. Because Hardik will come in at 4.
And the
45 overs.
And the other thing is also, I feel like now of course fitness levels are much higher, but what you really need at 3 and 4 is someone who's, especially if you're batting first, right? When the sun's still out,
run the single.
Is just someone who's going to tire the.
But Virat does that.
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
35, but he runs like a madman.
Oh my God, yeah.
And KL is very.
And
I
KL
would
is
like
well, right?
KL. Yeah,
they
he's
convert
so
some
street
twos.
smart, Yeah, exactly.
Like that partnership.
Ishan Kishan has to stay. You can't, because he's got a double century, fastest ever, etc. He stays at 5 for now.
Yeah.
Because he can't find another position. 6 Hardik, 7 Jadeja. These seem
I
permanent.
think these.
And then you rotate the bowlers depending on the conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I know I'm going to probably just spark a massive debate, but I don't see how Ashwin doesn't play.
I also would like Ashwin to play because I think you have a left arm, have a right arm in any case.
I don't see how you don't.
I understand having a left arm Chinaman bowler, which is a standout, and he's had the best performance of the lot. Fair enough. But coming up to Shreyas Iyer, I can't find a place for him, so I don't know what the big debate is. So he's in the 15. If he's
unless you make a KL keep, which was not bad again.
The KL is keeping, but Ishan stays. Where do I put Shreyas?
But why then you don't play Ishan? I mean, I would say.
How can you not play Ishan? What is he? He's not put a foot wrong.
But the point is, it really depends on what you need, right?
Okay.
Because
this is what happens. I told you to stop us.
No, I don't want to stop you.
This is what happens. We'll do a 2-hour debate.
This is what listeners want.
We'll be fighting. He'll be choking me and all.
Literally
said I want Shreyas. It'll be like that.
Every question here is about cricket.
But the best part now, the person making the decision is also from Bombay now.
Oh,
right, Ajit.
Hey.
Oh, sweet.
He's my favorite. I love Ajit.
All right.
A fantastic hit of the ball also. What a timer of the ball. Nobody remembers. He's got a century in England if you remember Test century. Yeah, go ahead.
The third question is also about cricket by Pushkar.
Yeah.
Should we go with 3 premium fast bowlers, Bumrah, Siraj and
Shami? We will.
Bumrah, Siraj and Shardul?
We will. Because Siraj and I think Siraj and Bumrah can't be touched.
Yeah.
For October, they can't be touched. Now, who's the third bowler? You want Shardul as an all-rounder coming in. You want Shami if his form is good. That is a little open debate.
I would, I'm just giving.
But I don't see 3 spinners playing regularly.
I don't. And also seeing his performance recently in Ranji also. Like, I think Unadkat again is in with a shout.
Unadkat stays. He stays in the frame.
He's in with a shout. Like,
Jaydev Unadkat. Plus, he's Gujarati, which is flavor of the season.
All right, next question by Rahul.
Letting it go. Lets the ball go through the keeper. And Ambrose, 4 slips, 2 gullies. Yeah, come on.
Oh no, this one's for me, but I don't want to answer.
No, come on.
I don't.
Nib, otherwise,
we want to hear it.
I don't want
the conversation we're having over Shreyas versus Ishan and all, people are dying out there.
No. When is your next set in Hindi coming up? The last one was good. All right.
You've seen her set?
No, you shouldn't.
Fantastic set where she is very true to herself about struggling with the new language, etc. You got to see it.
Nice.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Because this is a girl from Kenya.
Correct, yeah.
From Coimbatore via Kenya back to Coimbatore, back to Mumbai. So all the cultural mismatches that happen.
Yeah.
And then you have to stand and find your identity.
And family of farmers also.
Family of farmers.
I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my grandfather was a farmer.
So doesn't pay tax.
I can't believe it, honestly. It's so
comedians and farmers don't pay tax. Yeah.
Anyway.
But by the way, the great Vijayakar loved her set. And he really laughs, really. Your community. It's not funny. But he loved her set. He loved her set.
People keep saying that about Kunal. I really like Kunal Vijayakar.
Kunal, he doesn't have any mirth, no? He's not jolly.
I have a flit. I know not why.
Yeah.
Not all my mirth.
Yeah, something like that. It's all like, anyway. He's not West Indian like we are. We just laugh easily. So we look at him, he's like, oh, they're laughing. I'll also laugh. It's like that. It's different.
Anyway, I'm not doing any sets in Hindi coming up.
Why not?
The answer. I mean, it was a gimmick. I don't want to do that in every set. Like if I get good at Hindi, then
it's like that Kaniza's track we used to have on our show where she used to read the thing in bad Hindi.
Yeah, which is what I don't want to.
No,
That's
but
Ganesa's
but
thing.
you can be very innovative with it. It's not like a set piece which is stuck.
Yeah, no,
I'm
but I
sure
would.
you'll
Yeah,
you'll
I
be
will.
very
If
creative.
I can write jokes in Hindi, I will definitely do it. But
Yeah.
like until I actually get good at it, this
Okay.
was just because it was because I'm
Lazy.
bad at it. Anyway, Full of Stars asks, why is Sky still in the WC squad?
Well, good point. In the sense that I don't see him playing either. Also, it's amazing how the T20 superstar. Maybe he's not had enough games. I guess it's a tough one. Do you want to take it?
No, I think they're two very different formats.
It obviously is.
And I think we
But he bats at 3 mostly there, right? So he's
Yeah.
almost getting up 18 overs.
18 overs. Yeah, no, but I think again, like over there, your 18 is what 18 is 108 balls, and you're attacking
You're attacking,
every
yeah.
single
He's
thing.
attacking too fast in the 50s. What
Yeah,
you're saying, right?
yeah.
It's possible.
And like some of those shots, there's just no room for it. And also fields are different.
Fields are different.
Fields are different because when you get to the 25-30,
this-
which is when he's coming,
True.
the fields are already
There's also
open.
a small confidence issue. Like if you don't do well, it stays in your head
Yeah.
after 2 games. That this is not your format, or people
Yeah.
start saying things, and you just sort of back off.
Having said that, I will not be surprised to see him
Where do we play
play.
him?
You'll have
Give
to
me the
drop, like
position.
my point is, you have to drop someone like an Ishan Kishan. See, ultimately, it depends on
He doesn't
how-
like BREs.
No. Listen, I think he's
That's not
fantastic
it.
talent.
Jharkhand, yeah.
He's fantastic talent, right? Like I think he's as talented, if not more, as Gill and Pandya, mind you. Like I think those guys. Are
I
just
can't drop him.
ultimate talent.
I'm just following the team for the last 6 months and thinking,
No,
I can't drop
I
him.
agree with you. I'm saying, but I
In
would
fact,
not,
I want him to open.
I'm saying I would not be surprised to see him come in, especially towards the later part of the tournament, and sort of help where his role is.
Ron, let's
to
be honest. I think Sky only gets in if someone gets injured. Frankly, right
Maybe.
now. How do you? I mean,
No. Look again. There's about 25 ways to peel an onion, and
wow.
So there's like
This guy's
24
good.
ways to.
Yeah.
I only knew about 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you get the other 2 from? Oh,
I have a question.
please.
Do you think that it's lame that every time it rains they stop a cricket match?
I think so. I think they should play in the night without lights. I mean, I'd love to see, Brett Lee bowling to, a young Tendulkar, and there's no lighting whatsoever. Whatever happens. Yeah.
I mean, make it indoors or something.
You're right, actually. Why did
It's insane.
a certain
I've
amount
never,
of certain
like
amount of,
every time it rains just a little
So-
bit, they have to stop
So the
completely.
pitch. So as someone like having played a little bit of Kanga, right? Kanga League is this
what
tournament.
a
that
show
happens
off. Really unnecessary the way he
happens.
pushed it
You were
there.
the one who was
So-
asking.
Hey, but
for
I
it,
know
though.
he's changed personality in 1 hour.
No.
Ab to the matter Kangali khela matter. What is
See, when I was like, I think it's Sangat Ka sir. No, but the point is that it's.
You do play in the rain, Kangali
Yeah,
famously.
correct.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's less the pitch and more the outfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fielding is the worst.
Fielding
apparently.
is worst. And
But
like
Sunny has
getting hurt
on
and-
record said one thing about the Mumbai school, which of course now we don't have so many in the team, is that because they played Kanga League, there's just no excuses. So when you're suddenly playing on a 4th day pitch at Old Trafford and it's really wet and whatever, it's nothing. You played in freaking Azad Maidan with trenches and the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you have no idea what the ball's going to do. It's a lottery. So in a sense, the Mumbai school was the hardest.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have tire tracks and all from
All
some
that.
rally that had happened
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago, and then
Which you're responsible for with Red Bull, in any case, using the same Maidan. All right. Are we done? Okay, we're done. As we end, let's just quickly go back to the show, which is called,
Smartphone Nation.
and we've already got an episode out, many more to come.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's uniting India and
Mhm.
bringing up the quality of the Indian youth, the 500 million
The 500 million, yeah,
that have just
The next
entered
half billion.
the cell phone
the
universe.
next next
Yeah.
half billion,
Connecting.
and showcasing their voices
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how their lives are changing and how they're changing the internet.
And for this favor, all we asked from that 500 million is to give us 1 rupee each for this podcast. It's not too much. You can pay GPay, you can pay by cash, you can come to Sparsh's house because your rent kitna hai tera? Dena padega na? So bring more friends when you come to his house, but give us the money and we will be grateful. Right?
Man.
Nothing is for nothing, guys. That's life.
Sure.
Your prediction for World Cup as we say bye?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Rugby World Cup that's going on. Okay, cricket. What's your prediction? Who's
I
going to
don't
win?
know, man.
No.
I have no idea
No dog in the
which
fight.
team is doing well.
She looks so stressed.
I know.
yeah,
she
because
hates the question. It's
I
like, this is
hate
not
that
Miss India.
question.
Yeah.
I hate that question.
fair.
I
You're
don't
not- you're
even
not
want to say
invested.
India
You're not
because I
invested.
don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Plus,
don't
South
think India
Africa's
should win everything.
South
I think
Africa's
it's kind
playing.
of
You're
weird.
from Kenya, which is closer to South Africa than
No,
India.
I don't
so
think
you
Kenya
can-
will win anyway. So.
Kenya's
Kenya's
been
not-
late.
Yeah, it's a
Kenya's
really
cricket
bad
died.
team now.
Kenya's cricket died.
I know
sadly.
that much. I know that it's
Sadly,
not a
yeah.
good team anyway. So,
Yeah.
and there are only Indians in it. Who
No,
like-
that's not true. There were plenty of ethnic, if you like. But anyway, that's not happening. Rohan will have to coach
Yeah, but I don't
Kenya.
want to say India either. So
So, who are you going to say?
I don't know any of the other teams well.
Well, there's
anymore.
Argentina, there's Brazil. I'm sorry. Slap me.
God, can we just move on and finish
We're
the
done.
show?
We're done. Show's over. This is banter, wasting time. Rohan's already started shaving so that he's recognized at home again. All right. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.